Alrighty, so this week, SourceFed Nerd has decided to review the film Blackfish, which is a documentary about killer whales and their treatment in society. And after watching this film, I have to say, I have not been so moved by any documentary ever, and I have not been so moved by any film since Dancer in the Dark. Now you might say, look at that enormous fat person. He's moved by a documentary about whales because he can relate to them. He's the same size. I can relate to them for other reasons. Like, for example, they're treated horribly and inhumanely because of human greed. Yes. And all of these poor people are being injured and killed because of human greed. Well, I can relate. I mean, I've been injured because of human greed. I'm treated poorly because of human greed. You don't believe me? Go work with the homeless sometime. There's a lot of people who are marred horribly by greed. And in fact, just last year I was injured because they failed to repair a safety measure at my work, and that's how I got this scar. I don't know if you could see it. So, yes, I can relate to this film. I found it very touching. I found it very moving. I was caught by just how intelligent these orcas, these killer whales were, and the plight that they suffer, and how it is so hard to care for them in captivity. And quite frankly, I don't know if we should cage such a beautiful, powerful, and dangerous animal. I mean, it's like, yes, a lion, you can just give it food and make it happy. But a killer whale is a lot bigger than a lion. They're really big. And they live in packs. So, you know, a male lion is supposed to be solitary for much of its life until it adopts a harem. It goes and defeats or kills some other lion, murders a bunch of children, and then, you know, becomes the owner of this harem. So, you know, but killer whales are not like that. They're kind of like us in that, you know, we're born, we have trouble moving away from our parents, and, you know, killer whales, though, they like being around their kids forever. You know, I mean, a kid is born into a killer whale society, and it stays with the pod for its whole life, and you know, its parents are dominant, and then they get old, and they die, and then the kids become dominant, and so on and so forth. And then we humans have to go and find these killer whales and tear their children away from them in this horrible, inhumane fashion that often destroys the whales, and there's no real legal way for them to safely collect killer whales from the wild because it's just such a dangerous thing to do. And you think, you know, this is all about money and greed, and these people, these human beings are kind of forced almost to take care of these beautiful animals in an inhumane way, and they don't want to leave because then who would take care of the whale? Who would care about them? Would the next person be as good? Would they care about the whale as much? And then of course the whale, because it's still not taken care of well enough, winds up going berserk and eats them. And look, it's not funny. I mean, it would be funny if it weren't true, but it's true, so it's not funny. But you know, like I say, I can relate. This is a situation so much very like my work, where it's not safe because people don't want to spend the money, and things suck because people don't want to spend the money, and I'm a big fat creature like a whale, so yes. Blackfish! 2 thumbs up.